Hawks lose 2-1 to the Utah Hockey Club. Welcome into Chicago Hockey Radio's post-game show. Justin Lynch, Tassos Kirkos. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're new here. Follow us on Instagram. Leave a 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. 1 week from tomorrow, we are at Midwest Coast Brewing, where we'll be live streaming the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Ottawa Senators. Should be a pretty fun game. Unlike that one, that was super boring, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is our least attended post-game show of the year. That stunk. It was just boring to watch. I couldn't believe what I was watching for a long stretch of it, and now here we are having to talk about it. Hawks lose, Justin, once again, brother.
Yeah, I think most CHR enjoyers are probably asleep in their beds right now. I mean, I nearly fell asleep watching this game. That was probably maybe the most boring game of the year. Like, I'm going to throw it out there right now. That may have been the most boring game of the season.
I don't think that's a crazy take. I don't think that's a crazy take at all.
Yeah, definitely for the 2025 portion of the year, at least. I mean, we saw a lot of boring games under Luke Richardson. This kind of resembled one of those types of games. 2-1, narrow edge. Hawks score the first goal, blow a lead, still lose. Sonoblue masterclass wasted. We've seen a few games like this before. This is nothing new here. Yeah, these West Coast games, man, I don't know. They just don't really do it for me. But this Hawks team has plenty to look forward to these next little while before our big game next week. Hopefully that one will go a lot better, like you said.
I hope so. I really do. Like, now that we're a week out from the live show, I'm starting to wake up with the sweats, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And part of me is just like, please don't let it be a terrible game. Like, if it's a fun game, like, everybody's going to be having fun and it'll be a good time. But if they just lay an egg, it's going to get really dark really quickly. And it's just, that was a game that we watched. That was 60 minutes.
It was truly one of the hockey games of all time. Yeah, not a lot of goals in this one. I thought this was going to go to overtime. I think that maybe that would have spiced it up a little bit, at least giving it a fun finish. But unfortunately, we were robbed of even that. So nothing could save this game, though. Just the energy just clearly wasn't there. This was a rematch of the first game of the season, right? Utah's first ever game was against us in October. That game feels like eons ago, man. It was only a few months, but that feels like forever ago. That one was at least a fun game, unlike this one. But yeah, the Utah once again 2-0 us, and we just can't solve those guys. Bring back the Coyotes. I miss them.
Can I, I don't want to do Utah talk quite yet, but can I share a gripe about the Utah Hockey Club that I have?
What's your gripe? The fact that actually named the Utah Hockey Club?
No. Like, when we do Utah talk a little later on, like, I actually don't mind the hockey team. Like, it's a fun team. They've got some players. They've got a good amount of players in the pipeline. It's actually kind of an exciting team to be a fan of, I'd say. What the gripe I have with the Utah thing, and this is definitely just like the nerd in me talking, the fact that they didn't keep the history from the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
And they're pretending that this is an expansion team. Like, this isn't an expansion team. This was the Arizona Coyotes, which was previously the first iteration of the Winnipeg Jets. I'm sorry, but whoever scored the first goal in Utah history, that's not the first goal in that's the first goal in Utah history, but it's not the first goal in franchise history. Like, Shane Doan, massive disrespect to that guy, an all-time NHL legend, one of my, favorite hockey players growing up. Not to do Utah talk yet, but
it's never been done before, too. I don't understand it. Like, at least let the Coyotes keep their history, man. Like, that's just sad, But they're really treating this like it's a brand new franchise, but it really isn't. We'll see what they're named next year, whether it's the Mammoth or the Outlaws, or maybe they stick with the Hockey Club. Who knows?
They better not, dude. All right,
that'd be kind of funny if they did.
It would be lame. I am vehemently against them sticking with Hockey Club. Like, we've established in North American sports culture that your team has a name. Like, this isn't European soccer. You know what I mean? Like, this is the National Hockey League. Like, you have a team name, whatever. Okay. I have some big points on this game. I don't really want to do breakdown of everything here. But I do have a couple of big points. Do you want to do Soderblom first, or do you want to do Nazar?
Yeah, let's start with Soderblom. He deserved a win today. I mean, there've been plenty of games like this where he's put the team on his back and was deserving of a win, but just couldn't get the goal support today. But no, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Nice to see him give them consecutive starts. It seems like they're definitely going to be
Yeah.
riding Soda the rest of this year. Like he is a starter, and he should be. Like he's outperformed Mrazek all season, been so consistent, was outstanding tonight, made so many big saves, 34 and 36. Fantastic. You can't ask for anything else from him. He deserved a W tonight, and I'm sad we couldn't give it to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think to me and you, I don't know what the discussion is like in the coach's office clearly, but between you and I think Lee as well, like he is the starter. Like,
Yeah, it's not even a debate at this point, but I'm sure it is to them.
No, exactly. No, I'm sure it is a debate amongst them, and I would not be surprised if on Thursday against Vegas they go out with Mrazek and he lets in a couple of softies. Like I can already picture it in my head right now. Just Ivan Barbashev coming down and just a floater going by Peter Mrazek. Like, and I think that's a mistake. I really do. Like, this is a guy that is battling for you every chance. Every opportunity he goes out there, he's playing really hard. He is arguably, if there was an NHL's most improved player of the year award, like considering where this guy was last year to where he is right now, like I think he'd be the runaway winner for an award like that.
No, I'd agree with you. I mean, you could argue he was the worst goaltender in the league last year. And this year, he's been probably the most consistent player on this team. Goalie, but you catch my drift. But yeah, with Soderblom, he gives you a chance to win every single game. He keeps the games close. Pretty much, if you look at the majority of our blowout games this season, Peter's been in net, not Arvid. So the duality there is pretty clear. So I would hope they'd stick with, Soda, even though we didn't get the W. I think he did everything right tonight. And I think, he at least gives you a chance against Vegas. If Peter starts, throw in the towel. That's going to be a rough night.
Yeah, and Lee's like trying to get out of live streaming the game on Thursday, and I was supposed to be going on a trip Friday, Saturday, and I ended up canceling it. So Lee's like trying to get out of it, and he's like, "Oh, don't you have to be up early for your flight on Friday?" And I was like, "Actually, I canceled it, so we're live streaming the game, bud. Sorry."
Well, it turns out I actually might be able to be there too, because I think I'm going to be heading home for spring break that day. So and that's a late game too, so I think I'll be able to join you guys for that.
That'd be really fun, actually. That would make it turn from pretty terrible game to stream to actually a fun one.
We'll at least make it fun no matter what happens. You know that.
True. So before we get to Nazar, I do actually want to do the young defenseman first.
Sure.
Because I was actually pretty thrilled going into this game that they finally gave TJ Brody the axe for the night. It's not the first time he's been scratched this season, but it just feels like the first time in a while that he's been scratched.
For sure. I can't even remember the last time he's been scratched. So no, good to see that. Hopefully he's scratched for a little while here, right? I thought he thought he was fine tonight. I don't think he really deserved all the scratches to begin with. He's had a pretty good season. So play the young defenseman. I don't want to see Brody out there. Yeah.
No, and honestly, like I thought after they lost to the Maple Leafs on Sunday, like, that was the first game Allen had played in a while. I thought that was like they were going to use that as an opportunity to pull him from the lineup, and credit to Anders Sorensen for going back to him and being like, hey, we're going to give you another game. And honestly, the only two defensemen that didn't have a minus this whole night were Del Mastro and Allen. So
it doesn't surprise me at all. I thought they were a really solid pair. They've played together a lot in their careers, right? Had a lot of time and with the Ice Dogs together before the Hawks. So keep playing together, build this chemistry. I love to see it. That's a positive. A negative, though, why the hell was Lucas Reichel scratched tonight? I mean, I wasn't really surprised by it. You didn't play him half the game, against the Leafs. So I suppose you should have saw this coming. Colton Dach was called up. So that's a good thing. I don't think he should have been sent down to begin with. But the Reichel scratch, man, it's like, Jesus. Like, it continues to boggle my mind. It's like, it's Luke Richardson all over again. Like, I don't know what it is of Reichel. These guys just doesn't jive with them, but the coaching staff. But it's pissing me off, man. It's just, fortunately, it looks like I just don't know if it's going to work out here. Like, with Reichel, he might need a change of scenery.
Yeah, like it's clear now, especially after the benching and the scratch. Like it's clear it's not working here. Like it's just, and I think he's a fine player. Like I really do. You've buried him on the fourth line for most of this year. You haven't really given for practically the whole year.
Yeah, he hardly got any time in the top six, maybe a couple games. That's it. And I guarantee you, he's gonna wherever he goes, he's gonna thrive because they're gonna put him in that position to succeed with players, flanking in that top six that complement his game. And yeah, that's gonna be sad to see because we could have, maybe established something with guys like Bedsy and Nazar here, and we just never really did it. So I hope I'm wrong about that. I hope I'm jumping the gun, but he does have a year left in that bridge deal. But just the amount of games he's been scratched, the way they've utilized him, it just feels like the team's already decided he's not in their plans. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I just think that you're crushing any sort of value that you're going to get for him too. Like if the plan is to move on from him and you wholeheartedly believe that he's not a part of your movement here going forward,
then play him like you are of Khrushchev.
Yeah, play him like you want to get something out of him. At least another player back that maybe is also struggling in his situation, or maybe hasn't stuck around, like is or stuck in the lineup somewhere. Yeah, I think you're crushing his trade value, and then he's going to be like a throwaway piece of some deal to Tampa, and they're going to turn him into like an everyday NHLer.
I fear he's going to be the next like Dylan Strome, like the second he's going to thrive wherever he goes. Like he's got all the tools, right? He's just got put together, but he's got to be put in that position to succeed, and he hasn't here, unfortunately. Yeah.
The Allen thing to me, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised based off of the player we were just talking about, but like the fact that Nolan Allen got the least amount of ice time on the team tonight, what is it? 7.5 minutes, 7 minutes, 29 seconds, over 11 shifts. Like
that's insane.
You're not gonna, and I feel the same way about Lucas Reichel, unless you're pegging a guy as a fourth liner long-term, like, unless you look at Colton Dach and you're like, right now, you're like, this guy's an NHL fourth liner and that's all he's going to be. So I want him to establish that role. I don't think they feel that way. And I don't think I feel that way about Colton Dach. Like, this is a guy who, is he a top six guy on a Stanley Cup contender? Probably not. But could he be like a really useful third line guy? Yeah. He really could.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got all the tools, right? I can't say enough good things about his game, just the way he plays, just the right way, his hockey IQ, his grinding style. It's exactly like what this team needs. And I think if given that runway, he'll be a good piece for us. But he's got to get those minutes, right?
Yeah, you got.
I don't think he should have been sent down. Like he was playing well. Like I don't understand why he was sent down to begin with, but he's back up here and hopefully here to stay. Hopefully he's not sent right back down again.
Yeah, it's just puzzling to me, like the deployment of some of these guys. Like you almost play them like the young D-man and the Reichel stuff and the Colton Dach stuff. Like they almost treat them, unless you're Connor Bedard, which, I'm just like, I say that tongue in cheek, but like you treat them as if like you're a Stanley Cup contender and you're not. Like, like these games,
why is Smith the Maroon in the lineup over Reichel?
Yeah. Like, why are you not, what are you playing for? Like, aren't you playing for the opportunity that maybe this kid can use the last 20 or so games here to grow into something that like breeds promise for next season?
This should be all about development.
Yeah. So like let these kids make mistakes at the NHL level, let them thrive at the NHL level. Like play the heck out of Colton Dach. Play him 15 minutes, 17 minutes, 18 minutes. I promise it won't kill him. Like he's fine. He'll be okay. Like, what are you going to do? Lose the hockey game? Like you already lost. Like, let's just see what you got here. Right.
Yeah, no, I'm in total agreement there. Maybe the thought process as they're playing those guys, maybe some of these guys are like on the trade market for them, and be like, I don't think we're going to be getting much for guys like Pat Root and Craig Smith. So I don't want to see these guys, wasting time and roster spots over players who are actually going to be part of this team's future. I think we gotta set our priorities straight from that standpoint for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do Nazar talk now?
Yeah, I think it was another good game. Oh man, he had an opportunity there late in the game. There, the goalie was pulled to. He had a goal, but I think the puck must have bounced over his stick or something. Got unlucky. He made a few plays, but no, I think once again he was probably our best forward tonight. He was promoted to the first line with Bedard. Not all night sorts. It was doing some line shuffling. Where have we seen that before? He's starting to look more and more like Richardson these days. But no, it was good to see. I think I would keep them together. I think they had a good connection going there for a while. I'm sure hopefully they can reestablish that. But no, Nazar, another good game for him. I can't say enough good things. He's just been playing so confidently, and I think just since this Four Nations break, he's been one of the few positives in that offense. He's been noticeable every night. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me right now, at least over the last like couple of weeks, like he's been the Hawks' best player,
Yes.
like, and it's it's not hyperbole. It's not, like me getting excited over like a young guy that's like even doing moderately well on a team where we've been watching scrubs the whole year. Like he's been really good, man. Like he's reliable, he's steady, his confidence is growing. He's quick, he's fast and he's quick, and meaning like straight line speed. Like he's a fast hockey player, but he's got like the quick twitch muscles, too, where it's like, that's why after Sunday I was like, man, I want him to really watch Mitch Marner and like the takeaway stuff and the little stuff with his stick, because he can do that. You know what I mean? Like he's got those fast twitch abilities to be able to do that, and I think he's great. Really high hockey IQ. Just I wish he had buried that one at the end there, and he'll start putting a couple in the net here, like at some point. But I don't know. He's been great.
That's the thing though. Like he has 12 points, 29 games with the Hawks, but he should have so much more than that. He gets so much chances, probably more chances than anyone, pretty much every game. And he's like you said, like as he gets acclimated in this league, he's going to start burying those chances. And what he does, like he has the potential to be an elite player in this league. He has all the pieces. And here's the thing: he's fast, but he can keep up with himself. He's not like too fast for his own good. Sometimes I will say critique of Reichel is sometimes he is a little too fast for his own good, where he bobbles the puck and the puck control isn't there. But if Nazar 1000% is, I almost wish I could transfer Nazar's speed to my boy Bedsy, and you'd have like the perfect player there who maybe to transition here. I'll even admit this. Like I hate to say it, but it's like not even I can defend Bedard after the game today. Like this probably was his worst game of the season. Like he made one really nice play in the second period where I think it was behind the Utah net. The goalie there was like he was able to kind of get the puck away and set up Slaggert. Probably should have scored there in the slot, but wasn't able to bury it. But other than that, like not really noticeable tonight. Kind of quiet. Yeah, I mean, just coming out of this Four Nations break, maybe there's just some rust there. I don't know. I'm sure he'll snap out of that. I'm not worried, but like I have to acknowledge that I don't think he had a very good game today. I can't just, I got to be honest, right? I think
that's what you're here for.
I think today, I have to be critical, unfortunately. But I do think I'm glad they put Nazar back up there with him. I hope they keep him up there. It wasn't the case all game though, but I think if you keep those three together, that line was producing in January, so you think they'd be able to figure it out and get together here. But hopefully Nazar's been playing so well. I hope he helps Bedard out.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I think I'm not worried about Bedsy, but he does need to get something going here, because he does seem to be in a little bit of a mini slump at the moment, which it happens.
I don't know what it is with him, like if it's like, okay, I'm not going to like go to the lengths that I did on the show. And I was just really trying to like poke fun at you guys a little bit.
Yeah, I figured,
but some of those little things, and I don't want to get into but it's like, it's almost like he's turning into a little bit of a cookie monster to me, like a little bit, like yeah, like he wants the cookies, like he wants to score, he wants the points, he sometimes makes the play that he shouldn't because he wants the cookies, and the Hawks are bad and he knows it, and I think he's like, so I don't know what it is that's gonna sort of get him away from whatever is going on right now. Like maybe he just needs a couple to like go in the net and bounce off somebody's rear end or something. I love what you said. Like I would love if Frank Nazar was the guy to like get him going like that, like and maybe that would in turn like motivate Connor a little bit to be like, okay, like I have somebody that's going to get me the puck consistently, somebody that I know if I get them the puck, like they're not going to fumble it, I hope that duo, and I like Bertuzzi up there. Like I say, I know I'm not like the biggest Bertuzzi guy, and I don't think he's like the size and strength that you want up there, but he's just got to get something going here. And I hope it's Nazar that, feeding him the puck, being reliable, being as quick or quicker than he is, but no, I haven't, it wasn't just tonight. Like I haven't been impressed with Connor Bedard since coming back from the Four Nations. And yeah, if the Hawks are going to be good, like it goes through 98. So,
Betsy, you want your cookies? Shoot the puck, buddy. I'm looking at the box score, and I was right. Watch the game. No shots tonight, and I think you have one the last game. So shoot the puck. Stop being so passive. Be more selfish. He's being too unselfish, always looking for guys. I think sometimes he slows himself down, and then the guys are able to take the puck away from him. So he's gonna figure it out. I'm not worried about it. Here's the thing: I think when he does get one, he's gonna be fine because like then he gets hot, he goes on a streak. He's done it so many times. So when he gets that confidence back, he'll be good. But he's got to get there. But I think having Nazar up there, the right weapons there. Consistent line mates. That's a big thing too. Like it feels like every game he's got different guys flanking him, and that can help. Just ride this out for a little while, right? I think it'll be fine. Yeah.
What do you want to do next? You want to do Utah talk?
Yeah, well, I mean, they won this game, but like, holy shit, that power play was terrible. They went over 5 in the power play. So I think from that standpoint, they probably didn't. I mean, you could argue they didn't deserve the win, but they did also outshoot us 36-22. So it's not like they didn't outplay us. But again, when you have 5 power plays to 1, that's probably going to happen, right? And the Hawks have, I think, 2 power plays, and we scored on one of ours. So won the special teams battle, but don't win the even strength battle. We've seen that before. But no, if Utah, I mean, it's definitely a big win for them. It was kind of I don't know if I call it a must win, but like I probably would call it a must win. You're playing the Chicago Blackhawks, who are second to last in the league, and you're 3 points out of a wild card. Well, there's still 3 points because Calgary won, but still, definitely a game they need to win. They did. Just above 500 here, going a little bit of a run. I mean, won a couple games in a row, and I'd say if it's not Flames or the Canucks, Utah maybe is the team with the best shot of taking that last wild card spot there. I'm not sure if I'm sold on them doing that. I don't know if they're quite there yet. I think they're still a step behind probably. But I think they're building something solid here though. Like I like this team. Like Clayton Keller is always so fun, underrated player. Probably should have been on Team USA. Not really sure why he wasn't on Team USA.
Should have been on Team USA.
Yeah. Dylan Gunther's fun, like Logan Cooley. Like it's a fun team. Like they got a lot of like good young core players here. So I think I like what they're doing over there. Yeah.
I know I griped about the history, but I did say that I actually kind of like the club a little bit. It is a shame that they couldn't stay in Arizona. Like that team, think of how much that organization went through as far as like the product on the ice for so long.
And then, they were just starting to get there, and then boom, it's gone.
Now it's gone. Like it's gone, and you have all those fun players that you just mentioned, like Cooley and Genther's going to score 40 goals in the NHL consistently.
Yeah, his shot is nasty. And then he's almost too good of a playmaker. Like he has so much opportunities to shoot and he just passes them up. Like he's worse than Bedsy from that standpoint. But no, he's a great playmaker, great vision. I love watching him in the U.S. World Juniors teams. They just got a lot of fun players like that. Nick Schmaltz, Blackhawks legend there as well. Underrated player too. Probably doesn't get enough props. Sergachev in that decor has been huge. So no, definitely. I'd like to see him make a playoff run. I think that'd be fun. Just a new fresh blood there. But yeah, fortunately for Arizona, they're going to reap all the rewards of that long rebuilding process there, it looks like.
Yeah. And a couple of things. One, they have a lot of like cool prospects, and they got Josh Doan, who got the assist on the game winner tonight. They've got T.J. Ginla too, who had season-ending surgery, but is like that's a good prospect to have in your system. They
have a lot of legendary names there: Ginla, Doan, like a good family team.
Super cool.
There.
It's cool, and now you have an owner that's willing to spend money. So you bring in a guy like Sergachev. They traded for John Marino and his contract, which if there is like obviously something about this Utah team, like they're thin on the back end, they're really, it's like Sergachev and then Michael Kesselring. And I'm just like,
it's a bunch of nobodies after him. It's like without Sergachev, man, they'd have nothing there.
Yeah, literally. But they're a fun team, man. I like them. I'm surprised. I was shocked that the Hawks played them the first game of the season, obviously tonight too. And then they play them twice in March. Like we get them 2 more times this season, which is that's a lot of Utah Hockey Club for me in the last 20 something games of the year.
They really wait a long time for this rematch here. Yeah, that's a long time between first and second games there. So, and I think for one of them, the Hawks are wearing the Winter Classic jersey again. So we know that game's already a loss based on past history from that standpoint. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. And the thing for the Hawks for me was, and I guess we could talk about the goal in a minute here, but it was just like once the late goal from Keller went in, it was like they crumbled. Like it was like the third period was a total abomination. They held tight. It's 1-0, it's 1-0, it's 1-0. And then the Keller goal goes in, and like that's it. Like they
And that's how this team works, man. They're just not able to, brush off adversity. They crumble under pressure, and that's exactly what happened. Third period, like I knew, like once that Kraus goal went, especially, like I knew the game was over. I knew the game was over when that Keller goal went in, not even the Kraus
yeah.
one. I knew we'd get narrowly edged. Like we've seen this so many times before, so nothing really shocked me from that standpoint.
I went and watched the Kraus one back a few times, and I'm just like, dude, like what is Craig Smith doing on that play? Like your back is turned to what you're supposed to be looking at, which is the guy like barreling down on you, and Kraus just Soderblom, that was maybe his very single lapse of the night, was like being a little out of position on that goal, but also really just had no chance. I don't know.
Smith he just floats around out there, man. You tell me he's more useful in this team than Lucas Reichel. At least he's giving his all every shift. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me. I'd say one positive thing. I mean, Seth Jones, a goal, so increasing that trade value there. I know he really wants out, so although maybe that's more of a player than a team thing. I don't know. That's what we're hearing, maybe, but I'm sure teams are looking at him. We'll see that. Donato had an assist as well. I think a couple games of assists for him out of this break. Seems like every game he's producing something. So let's get that second round pick or whatever we're gonna get for him. Teravainen had a point too, so that's 501 for him. But that's about it for positives. But good to see Seth Jones, figure it out, I guess, because those first two games after the break were not great. But he was. I'll say besides that goal, I wouldn't say he was particularly good today.
No,
I mean,
he was not.
That was about it. He feasts on the power play. So that's that. But that's it. Power play merchant. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for him for shooting one in the net. Like, I don't know, man.
I know.
I'm so over it. Like you're like, I don't know, dude, you shot one in the net. Like, good for you.
Big deal. Yeah.
The thing I thought about actually though, when he scored that goal, and I would love to, maybe I'll like do a little deep dive, or I'll ask Lee or you to do a deep dive, or maybe somebody in the chat could do a little bit of a deep dive for us tomorrow. Where the Hawks rank as far as offense from the back end, like.
Oh yeah, I know it's gone up a lot under Sorensen compared to Richardson, but it's probably.
But
below.
like from where? Like from who?
Well, Seth, Vlasic occasionally, but besides that,
Vlasic went a month without scoring a point in January.
Yeah, I don't really know that because we just have a bunch of defensive defensemen. That's what Murphy does. Guys like Crevier and Brody Martinez. Like these are all defensive. Nobody's producing offensive back end besides Seth. Yeah.
That was very generous of you calling TJ Brody defensive, but
oh yeah, that's what he's supposed to be. But he's not. He's a nothing defenseman now. Yeah, you know what I mean.
No, I thought, I was thinking about it. Like when they scored that goal, I was like, man, like they really get like nothing from the back end.
I will say that is one thing too. Like when we do, because I'm going to say when, not if. When we move on from Seth Jones, like that is one thing that will be a hole until our prospects show up, because like he is the only guy back there that really does provide offense. Vlasic has his moments, but like you said, he's more of a defensive guy. So, but yeah, we'll see. I imagine the Hawks. We'll look into it for the show, but I imagine they're pretty near the bottom of the league in terms of offense in the back end. I would venture to guess. Yeah,
might have to draft Matthew Schaefer then, huh?
Well, I mean, we got guys in the wings. We got Levchinov, we got Korchinski, we got Ritzel. Yeah.
No, I know. I'm not doing prospect talk tonight, but did you see the Jack Pridham?
Yes, that Michigan was nasty. He's quietly had a pretty solid season there. So, and I think 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, whatever it was. So
good player.
Yeah, I think, did he have ties to the Maple Leafs organization or something? Like, didn't his dad work for the team or something?
I think so. Something like that.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Like, he's an equipment guy or something. So maybe he's a future Maple Leafs legend there. I don't know.
All right. Do you have anything else from this game?
I mean, I could probably, no, I don't think so. Grasp for straws here to fix.
Thank God.
Yeah, no, I got nothing else. Hawks got Vegas next Thursday. So, we'll see how that one goes for the live stream. Hopefully, our live streams tend to be entertaining games, but I don't know if we'll see how that game goes. I don't know.
Tomorrow on the show is the return of Greg Boysen to Chicago Hockey Radio.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so he will be here. Sad that Justin won't be here while he's
here.
Yeah,
I wish Friday he was. That's all right. No big deal.
I'm glad. I know. It was the day. Yeah. It was the day he could give us. But
no, that's all good. Happy to have him back. The highly anticipated sequel.
It'll be fun. So the return of Greg Boysen should be a lot of fun. You can join our Discord at the link in the description of this episode, and you can throw some questions in there for Greg. If you have any Greg specific questions that we're just not, maybe you want to ask him about some of the stupid stuff we've said, you can also DM us on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio. And I do have another guest on Friday coming on too. He's a friend of mine. He makes hockey content. So Robert Babiak. So we have guests the rest of this week, and live stream Thursday for the late one against Vegas, and then there's a post game after that, and we're just cranking it out. We're going to Kalamazoo on Sunday.
That's right. Yeah, man. We have a lot planned here, man.
If Mr. Grossman is still in the chat, we'd really like to borrow your family's van. Otherwise, I need to know so that way I can
get in the van.
So that way I can rent us a car. But yeah, no, we're excited for that. Shout out Holt for the Kalamazoo Wings tickets. We have to get up like early in the morning to like get out there. It's gonna be we're driving.
How far is Kalamazoo?
4 hours away.
Is it really? Oh
Yeah,
boy, that's gonna be a
far.
long day, but it'll be fun though.
It'll be fun.
ECHL game. That'll be my second ever ECHL game.
Never been to one.
I saw one Indy Fuel game like when I was in a hockey tournament in Indianapolis a few years back, but that's about it.
I have never been to an ECHL game. I've been to quite a few AHL games, but never an ECHL game. So it'll be something.
Right.
I don't know.
Making history. Yeah.
I want to see a fight. Like, I'm not that guy that's like, oh, I like hockey for the fighting. Like, no. But if we're going to an ECHL game, like, I better see a couple of tilts.
There better be a few brawls, yeah, because you're not watching those games for the insane talent on display. Though I'm sure those guys have more talented pickies than we do. But
Brighton in chat, 12 away for Ovi, by the way. Yes. We will talk about that more tomorrow on the show. Yeah, Greg Boysen, tomorrow. Be there. Send us questions, send us topics, send us thoughts, opinions, musings, whatever you would like us to share with Greg Boysen. Share it with us beforehand. We will be live at around 11 a.m. tomorrow Central Time. So shout out you for staying up for that boring hockey game. That was really something. Yeah, I think Lee is probably tucked away in bed right now and just honks shimmying away. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Hawk Tua.